very good evening to all of you. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So, I am Amol Padwar, Assistant Professor in the Department of Dairy Technology, Parul Institute of Technology, Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat. I would like to welcome you all to this.
Vijay sir, your voice is too low.
Okay, okay, sir. So, I would like to welcome you all to this webinar session on the topic milk quality and safety by antibiotic and adulteration detection. Today, on the eve of World Milk Day, Department of Dairy Technology, Faculty of Agriculture, Parul Institute of Technology, Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat, organizing the webinar on the topic milk quality and safety by antibiotic and adulteration detection. So, before we go further, I want to review the functionality of the webinar. Your active participation is important throughout the session. Right now, I have everyone on mute to avoid background noises that may distract you from listening to the webinar. Throughout the presentation, someone on staff will be managing the chat functionality. You can enter your question and comments in the question box throughout the presentation. If you would rather ask in person, you can also use this icon on the control panel to raise your hand to indicate that you have a question or comment. Once you raise your hand, someone will unmute your line so that you can ask your question. So I will now ask our today's chief speaker. I will introduce about today's chief speaker, Mr. Respected Mr. Akshay Belsare sir, working as a product and application manager Indifos Analytical Private Limited, Ahmedabad. So, on the eve of today's World Milk Day, I would like to, I am very happy to have such a great personality to represent on our Parul University platform with an innovative advanced topic regarding the quality. So, I would like to hand over this session to Mr. Akshay Belsare sir, and I welcome to you on this on the behalf of HOD Dairy Technology, on the behalf of entire Parul University. I welcome to the respected Mr. Akshay Belsare sir, and I hand over this session to you, sir. Please continue.
Thank you very much, sir. Firstly, I would hope you are getting my voice properly.
Yes, sir.
Is
Yes.
it okay? Thank you very much. Firstly, I would like to thank you and your team, Parul, that is Parul University team, to give me such an opportunity to speak on this topic of adulteration and we can say antibiotic detection uh, on on the auspicious day of World Milk Day, and as a part of India is concerned, we are basically having a proud moment that we are on the top milk producing country. That is, we are producing 198 million ton. That was in 2019-20, and as per this world ratio is concerned, we are representing 22% of the milk production of the world. So basically, that's a great thing, and thank you that Parul University and Vijay Kaya sir for giving me such a platform for giving information regarding the milk and milk safety. Coming to the main topic, I will take the presentation from here. So basically, our main discussion topic is adulteration and antibiotic detection. As I can see, we are having lot many students. So before getting deep into this topic, we'll have a basic introduction of what is milk and how what adulteration is carrying out. So first thing we have to understand is that milk is basically a liquid which is being memory received from the mammary gland of an mammals for their young ones, that is nourishment of the young ones. But when we are consuming, that is we as a human consuming the milk of animal, so basically that is a different point. But when we are considering it as a dairy perspective, it is basically our food and our need. So when this comes into the point that when we are giving this dairy people, this farmer is providing this milk to the dairy industry, they are processing it, and then it is coming back to the people. So basically we have to find out it is safe or not. So when we are considering this dairy, that is milk, we are having two main things, that is adulteration and contamination. It is very important to have a differentiation between these two words, what is adulteration and what is contamination. Adulteration, it is the act which is being done to reduce the quality of your product. So basically it is intentionally done. So basically when the milk is adulterated with some kind of product, so basically you are decreasing the quality of that milk. Basically it is mainly done for the monetary purposes. When we are coming for the contamination section, contamination is not intentionally done, but due to the presence of this contaminant, the constituents, impurities, and some undesirable elements that spoils and corrupts, infects, and make that product unfit for the consumption. So for example, any contamination is there that is not being done intentionally, but it decreases the quality of your final product. So basically these are the two major definitions that we have to understand. Milk is really a good quality of product that is being used for consuming, and when we are consuming, it gives you the energy and nutrition. So basically it's a complete source of high quality nutrition. But when any kind of adulteration and contamination takes place, it becomes poison to the human consumption. So we have to go in the details of that. Now, which are the major concerns which is taking place? When we are having adulteration, adulteration is being intentionally done. When we are talking about contamination, there is a contamination of antibiotics, aflatoxin M1, and a melamine adulteration. So what this stands for? We have to have a detailed reasons for why adulteration takes place. So we have to understand, when we talk about the adulteration, we have to understand why adulteration takes place. That is monetary, where this dairy industry, they are taking the from the farmer in the form of fat, SNF, and protein. Okay, so they are going to pay based on the fat and SNF. So basically, if you are carrying out any kind of adulteration or adding any products which increases the fat content and SNF content, so that is an adulteration. So basically, when the dairy people are testing the milk for their fat and SNF content, because basically they are going to pay on the basis of that. So when that increases the fat and SNF content, okay, that act is known as adulteration. Now, when we are talking about mode of payment, okay, in dairy industry, mode of payment is usually based on the fat, SNF, and many industries are providing on the protein basis. So if the farmer or any kind of third party person, if they are carrying out any kind of adulteration, they will directly target to the fat content. So basically, when you are having any kind of Gerber SNF lactometer reading, so they will add a fat content, you can say vegetable fat, to increase the fat content. They will add the milk powder, amino sulfate, detergent, or anything like that which increases the SNF of the lactometer reading. So basically these adulterants, okay, these are causing the harmful product as per the consumption is concerned. Now when you are considering for the platform test, okay, along with the mode of payment, we are also checking for the platform test, that is related to the freshness of the milk and acidity. So when the milk is being consumed, okay, when milk is being taken, we are testing it for the freshness. So if the milk is being taken out, that is being tested when it is basically 4 or 5 years late, the freshness decreases. So increase the freshness, they are adding the products like detergent. For acidity, the detergent, or you can say NaOH or sodium sulfate can be used. So basically you are decreasing the acidity of the milk. So basically when these are the adulteration, so it is very important that we have to carry out, that is detection of this adulteration to be carried out. So for example, we are having a chemical analysis by which we can carry out the adulteration. But when we're considering this adulteration testing by chemical method, it takes too much of time. So in order to increase this adulteration and number of testing should be increased, we are having the IR based instruments. For example, Milko screen, it is Milko scan FT1, FT3. These are the IR based instrument, which on the mean time of 30 seconds gives you idea that the any kind of adulteration has been done or not. Now, coming back to this older slide, we are having a major adulterants which are being used. You can go through this line. So basically, ammonium sulfate, detergent, glucose, maltose, melamine, salt, sodium carbonate, sodium citrate, sorbitol, starch, sucrose, urea, and vegetable oil. These are the major adulterants which are being used in day-to-day life. So it is very important that we have to detect the presence of these adulterants in the milk before accepting by the dairy. So in order to testing, we are having instruments which can test it in the 30 seconds. So basically, this is the development that is being taking place. Earlier days, we have to use the traditional conventional chemical method to detect such kind of adulteration. So NDDB has created one kit based on those chemical adulteration, and on the basis of the color combination, you can find out the adulteration is present or not. Coming to the quick detection, that is basically when you are having a 50,000 liter, 80,000 liters, or you can say 5 to 6 lakh liter of milk collection in a day, it is very hard to carry out the detection by the chemical analysis. So at that time, it is very important that we have to carry out the testing in the meantime, in the very less time. I'm sorry. Okay. So we have to carry out the testing in a very less time. So that is the important thing, that's the reason that IR based instrument has been introduced. So how this IR based instrument works? IR, that is infrared, it is having a FTIR based technology. FTIR, that is Fourier transform, IR infrared. So basically Fourier transform is a mathematical formula which is used for detection of adulterants. So basically what happens, when we are testing any kind of liquid product with the help of FTIR, it is having a unique fingerprint. So means, for example, we are having a specific group, or you can say specific targeted element. So they are having a specific fingerprint. So these instruments are having the specific fingerprints for the pure quality of milk. So any kind of adulteration which is being done, those adulterants have having a different fingerprint when they are tested with the IR technology. So when these adulterants are added with the milk, the system will carry out and find out the milk quality. Along with that, any kind of adulteration is there, it will find out, it will superimpose it on the pure quality of milk and find out that these are the adulterants, and these adulterants are indicated on the main screen. So basically you are getting the name of the adulterants available on the screen with the help of FTIR technology. So basically this was the points related to FTIR, that is adulteration detection. After that we'll start with the contamination. So if there are any questions from your side, I would request you to ask, or if you want to discuss this point, we can discuss these points, and after that we'll move ahead. Please. Dr. Vijay sir?
Sir, okay. Students, if you have any query regarding the session, or if you want to ask anything to sir, you can be free, have a discussion with sir.
Yes.
All of you. Subhash, is that clear? Sir is audible to you, all of you?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Basically, what I would request you have
Yes, sir.
somewhat
Hello?
discussion while testing. Okay.
Hello?
Yes, please, Sumit.
This is the very important and very effective topic of
Sir, I have a
Yes,
question.
please.
Sir, in FT1 there is a different channel is set it for pasteurized
Yes.
milk, pasteurized gold, pasteurized ताज़ा और तो सर अगर एक ही मूड तो हमको चेक तो वही करना है कि फैट है, SNF है या फिर वो, तो सर हम डिफरेंट चैनल्स क्यों लगाते हैं, और सर प्रिंसिपल क्या है FT1 का प्रॉपर प्रिंसिपल?
Okay. I am very happy that you know that FT1 instrument is there and you are having a good knowledge of this FT1 instrument. That's a great thing. Okay. तो आपको मैं बताता हूँ इसके चैनल्स अलग अलग होने का रीजन. सबसे पहला रीजन ये है कि हम ये जो बेसिकली ये जो प्रोडक्ट्स है, ओके, इनका स्टैंडर्ड अलग है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू कैन से आपका पेस्चराइज मिल्क अगर हम कंसिडर करते हैं, ओके, पेस्चराइज गोल्ड, ओके, तो आपका उसका स्टैंडर्ड है 6-9, 6 फैट 9 SNF. ओके, सो जब आप अपना वो सैंपल उस पर टेस्ट करोगे तो डेफिनेटली वो जो आपका सैंपल रहेगा वो 6 के आजू बाजू का ही रहेगा, ना कि 4 के आजू बाजू. ओके, सो मैं अपने सिस्टम पे जो लाइब्रेरी क्रिएट करता हूं वो मल्टीपल सैंपल से करूंगा, लेकिन वो बिल्कुल 6 के आसपास के होंगे. ओके, सो वो जो 6 का जो चैनल है वो मैं फाइन ट्यून किया होगा ऑलरेडी विद द गोल्ड सैंपल्स. जो 4.5 NS शक्ति का जो हम कहते हैं फॉर द स्टैंडर्डाइज मिल्क, ओके, दैट स्टैंड्स फॉर 4.5 एंड 8.5. तो मैं जो वो चैनल है उसको मैं स्टैंडर्डाइज करूंगा एट द पॉइंट ऑफ 4, दैट इज 4.5 एंड 8.5. सो दैट इज बेसिकली नोन एज फाइन ट्यूनिंग, जिसकी वजह से अपने जो फाइनल रिजल्ट होते हैं दे आर हाईली एक्यूरेट. दैट इज द रीजन कि हम सबकी चैनल अलग अलग बनाते हैं. और
ओके सर.
आपका जो क्वेश्चन था ऑन व्हाट प्रिंसिपल इट इज वर्किंग, ओके, यस, इट इज वर्किंग ऑन FTIR टेक्नोलॉजी ओनली. FT इज अ फोरियर ट्रांसफॉर्म, IR इज एन इंफ्रारेड. IR जो डिटेक्शन है, ओके, वी आर क्रिएटिंग अ स्मॉल फ्लेम ऑफ 50 माइक्रो, दैट इज 50 म्यू, दैट इज यू कैन से नियर बाय योर हेयर साइज. आपकी जो हेयर की साइज है उसकी एक फिल्म क्रिएट होती है विद द हेल्प ऑफ this system, and this IR is allowed to pass through the this stream, and it will detect the your functional groups on the milk, and it will find out the adulteration is present or absent. So IR is the one of the best technology to find out the adulterants which is present in the milk in the current scenario.
Okay sir.
Yes, I'm very happy with that you are having good knowledge of FT.
सर और सर मैंने जब ट्रेनिंग किया था तो सर वहाँ पे बोला था कि FT है तो सर एक्यूरेट है, पर सर उसको भी लोग डिफॉल्ट करके उसके अंदर रीडिंग चेंज कर सकते हैं, तो सर ये पॉसिबल है?
देखो बेसिकली ये पॉसिबल नहीं है क्योंकि FTIR को यू कैन नॉट ब्लंडर इट. हाँ, आपका जो सिस्टम जिससे कनेक्टेड है, ओके, सिस्टम इज इन योर हैंड. अगर आप उसको कनेक्ट करके किसी और सॉफ्टवेयर पे रिजल्ट ले रहे हो तो डेफिनेटली यू कैन मेक चेंजेस इन दैट सॉफ्टवेयर. ओके, लेकिन FTIR एज इट इज इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, इट इज नॉट, यू कैन नॉट मेक एनी काइंड ऑफ चेंजेस इन दैट सिस्टम. दैट इज कंप्लीटली क्लोज, इंटैक्ट एंड एनक्रिप्टेड सिस्टम. हाँ, आपका डेटा जब बाहर आ जाता है, ओके, माय सिस्टम इज कनेक्ट, ओके, यू कैन से FTIR जो एक सिस्टम है, इट इज कनेक्टेड विद वन ऑफ द PC और दैट PC कैन गिव यू द डेटा. तो वो डेटा कैन बी मैनिपुलेटेड. So usually we are asking this, means we are requesting the dairy people to connect it with the SAP system. तो ये प्रॉब्लम कभी नहीं आता.
ओके सर.
Yes. Any more questions?
नो सर.
Okay. Vijay sir, is there any more questions or I can start with the next point?
Sir, please continue, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, our next point is contaminants. So basically, we have to understand that what is contaminants. That is in the starting, I have given differences between adulterants and contaminants. So contaminants are not intentionally added to the product, but they are highly harmful when consumed by the human beings. So we are having an example that is antibiotic and aflatoxin. These are the two major contaminants which is taking place in the milk right now. So how this antibiotics is coming into the milk, how this aflatoxin M1 is coming into the milk, we can have a glimpse of that during this presentation. Okay, so we have to first understand what is antibiotics. Antibiotics is an agent that either kills or inhibits the growth of microorganisms. Antibiotics, also known as antimicrobial, these are the medication that fight against the bacterial infection. This is the definition of antibiotics, that the work of antibiotic is used, that is work of antibiotic is to develop the health of the animal who is suffering from any kind of diseases. And the major antibiotics which are used are beta-lactam, chlorophenicol, sulfonamides, tetracycline, fluoroquinones. Okay, so basically antibiotics are doing as per the animal growth is concerned. If animal is suffering from any kind of diseases, the doctor is going to treat well with the antibiotics. Okay, so when we are considering which are the major antibiotics, so we are having a complete range, that is penicillin, sulfonamides, gentamicin, otratoxin, pimlicocin, tetracycline, ampicillin. There is a huge range of antibiotics which are available for the treatment of animals. The point is that the antibiotics which are used for the treatment of animals are the same antibiotics which are used for our treatment, that is human treatment. But the difference is that animal is considered as 500 kg animal, human is considered as a 100 kg body. So basically on the base of that, the concentration of these antibiotics are there. So when we are going to treat this animal, these antibiotics come into the milk. So earlier it was found out that 20% of the raw milk which was randomly collected in the Gujarat and other regions, it was found that 20% of the milk was having the presence of antibiotics. So basically what this antibiotics creates, it creates an antibiotic resistance. We have to understand what is the antibiotic resistance. Okay. When the animal is treated with some antibiotic, when it is having any kind of illness. Similarly, when we are having some illness, we are also being treated with the antibiotics. But when I am consuming, if I am healthy person, I am unnecessarily consuming antibiotics, it will directly increase antibiotic resistance. So whenever I am suffering from any kind of diseases, the antibiotic which are being prescribed by the doctor will never work on me and I will not get cured. So that is known as antibiotic resistance. So it was found out that the same scenario, if the same scenario takes place, that our food chain will have the presence of antibiotics drugs, then it will happen that the number of deaths because of the antimicrobial resistance, it is going to be the more compared to cancer and diabetes. Basically, antibiotic resistance is not a disease, but if people are suffering from any kind of diseases, the drugs are not going to work on them. That is the antibiotic resistance. Okay, so one of the studies also stated that after 30 years, we are going to have more deaths compared because of antibiotic resistance compared to cancer and diabetes. So it is very important to have a control on the presence of antibiotics in the milk. So how this takes place? So we have to understand how this antibiotic resistance in the human takes place. So basically, you can see this chart. We are having one picture where we are having antibiotics. Antibiotics are given for the animal for the treatment purpose. Now, the animal after having the, you can say, consumption of antibiotics, these antibiotics after their work, means after the animals get cured, the excess of antibiotics will come out of their body. There are different ways by which the drugs will come out, such as you can say sweat, that is sweat glands, urine, stool, and also the milk is one of the way by which this antibiotics comes out. So basically, when this the milk having the antibiotic is consumed by the human body, it creates unwanted consumption of the antibiotics by the human and creates an antibiotic resistance. So whenever this human that is having the antibiotic resistance is suffering from any kind of diseases, the antibiotics prescribed by the doctor will never function on him and it directly creates a fatigue nature. That is, death can also take place. So that is the way this antibiotic resistance works, and we have to decrease this presence of antibiotics. So basically, we have to understand why this is taking place. That is, when the animal are treated with any kind of antibiotics, these antibiotics are having a residual warning present on their outer sticker. They are mentioning that these antibiotics will have a withdrawal period. For example, you can see on the screen, we are having a withdrawal period for the cattle, it is 14 days, sheep it is 9 days, and swine it is 7 days. For example, when this antibiotic is given to the animal, these number of days the animal will take to come out. So basically, during these number of days, the milk which is being given which is being collected from the animal should not be taken for the consumption purposes. But when we say that 14 days of the milk that is to be thrown out, it is directly affecting to the monetary for the farmer. So that is the reason this farmer are always sending this kind of milk to the dairy industry. But at the end of the story that comes, these antibiotics will remain in our food chain and it creates an antibiotic resistance. So now this FSSAI is also working to reduce this antibiotic load. Along with that, it has been also observed that more than 7,000 deaths has been noted because of the antibiotic resistance, and 89 countries do not have this, only have this system that to collect the data for the antibiotic resistance. So basically, many of the countries are not having a complete data as per this antibiotic resistance is concerned. But as per this, we can say as per this India is concerned, we are having a basic data that how this antibiotic resistance is generated and at what level we have to work. And FSSAI has created a list of the concentration of antibiotics, what the LOD level should be there in the milk if the milk is taken for the consumption purposes. So basically, when we work for the requirement, that is diseases in the cow, they require antibiotic treatments. So basically, if you are saying that antibiotics are bad, but they are to be used for the treatment of the cows. So during that, we should have a complete data, that is control of the antimicrobial agents for the treatment of animals. The withdrawal time should be respected, and during that time, the milk should not be used for the consumption purposes. And good practice at the farm level are essential to deliver the antibiotic free milk. So this helps to give you antibiotic free milk. But then also these antibiotics comes into the milk, and we have to go for the detection purposes. After the completion of these 2 points, we'll come back to the detection, by which method we can carry out the detection. Second, okay, any questions up to this point?
Students, please.
Okay, basically this will help me to know this all are awake or not, all are getting my points or not. That will be helpful for me.
No, sir, no doubt.
No doubt. Okay. So second point is that we are having aflatoxin M1 presence. So what is aflatoxin M1? It is a type of mycotoxin. They are the groups of naturally occurring chemicals produced by the certain molds in its carcinogenic by nature. Okay. Aflatoxin M1, that is in the form available from the milk. So basically aflatoxin B1, B2, G1, G2 are the form which are the different forms of antibiotics which grows on the you can say fodder, feed and fodders. After consumption, they gets metabolized and get converted into aflatoxin M1. Mycotoxin remained neglected until the discovery of aflatoxin in 1960. Nobody was taking care of the mycotoxin. Currently, few hundred mycotoxin are new, often produced by the genera of Aspergillus, Penicillium, and Fusarium. Animal ingest, contaminates foodstuff, mycotoxin are metabolized, biotransformed, and transferred to the animal products such as meat, milk, and became a risk for the human health. So basically, these mycotoxin are carcinogenic by nature, and they are risk for the human consumption. So how this aflatoxin M1 enters to the human chain? So basically, you can see the picture which is available. Aflatoxin, that is the mold which is there, Aspergillus. Okay, they grows on the food products like corn. You are having nuts. They are being fed by the animals, and when the consumption of animals takes place, like milk is there, meat is there, these mycotoxins that directly comes into the human consumption, and they are, as per this human consumption is concerned, they are carcinogenic by nature. Third one is melamine. Melamine is basically an adulterant which is being added to the milk, and they are used in the production. What is basically melamine? Melamine is used in the production of malware and home decoration. That is, in Hindi we can say chini mati. So basically, it is not for the consumption purposes. Why it is added to the milk? When we are having a chemical formula of melamine, we can understand that it is having a high nitrogen content. So when we are detecting the protein with the help of Geldal method, so this Geldal method, after testing, it will show you the presence of high nitrogen content, which directly indicates the higher protein content. So in order to increase the protein, where the payment is done based on the protein content, this kind of adulteration, that is melamine, is added to the milk. As per this detection is concerned, melamine is odorless and tasteless, so it is very hard to detect. And as per the business is concerned, it is very cheap and easily available. The ill effects of melamine. So if the melamine is present in the food, it directly affects the functionality of the kidney. So basically, if the melamine is being directly consumed, it directly creates a kidney stone. And if the same melamine is consumed by the infant or a small children, they can lead to the death also. There was one example which was taking place in the China in 2008. Melamine was added in the milk, that is infant milk, and which has caused the death of thousands of children, and that also came into the newspaper. The complete batch of those you can say infant milk was destroyed by China. So that should not happen in India. That's why we are having a detection of melamine in our food system. Why we have, okay, these are the, and we can say contaminants which are present. Why we are concerned about this? So basically we are having both type of problems available with us. That is the public health along with the dairy industry. That is, dairy industry is also facing a problem because of the presence of contaminants. When we talk about the public health, it creates an allergic reaction. It increases the toxicity of the product. It increases toxicity in the human. I'm sorry. It creates an allergic reaction, creates an allergens. The toxicity in the human body, it increases. That directly creates the creating carcinogenic and mutation in the human body. Along with that, if the high amount of antibiotics and aflatoxin is consumed, it directly alters the gastrointestinal microflora of the human. That is also a very bad indication for the human health. And as per the dairy industry is concerned, the presence of antibiotics and aflatoxin directly interferes the starter metabolism. So why we require the starter metabolism? When we are intentionally adding the culture, that is bacterial culture to the product. For example, for the preparation of the curd, for preparation of cheese, we are intentionally adding the starter culture. It inhibits the metabolism of those starter culture. So directly it creates an off flavor. Your quality of the product decreases. It directly gives the economic loss to the dairy industry. So these are the reasons. These are the reasons these contaminants are to be tested before getting that milk into the dairy industry. Any question up to this point? Any queries?
No, sir.
No.
Okay. So basically, we have carried out what is, okay. I will have a recap of from the starting. We have a discussion of the adulterants and how we are going to detect those adulterants. We are having contaminants. We have listed the contaminants, and now we are going to go for the detection. So basically, when this contamination takes place, it is not intentional. So basically, at what level it has been added, we cannot come to know. So it is very important that the milk which is available at the field level should be tested. So as per this contaminants testing is concerned, we are having a huge range of testing method which are available. Okay, so what is meant by vegan milk? Okay, we'll take this question at the end. You keep this question ready. It is a good point. Okay. Second, the detection of these contaminants, the methods are, we can say, liquid chromatography coupled with electrospray tandem mass spectroscopy. This is the very huge size instrument which gives us the presence of antibiotic and aflatoxin in the mean time of 2 to 3 minutes. But these instruments cannot be taken to the field level. Similarly, HPLC is there, 2 microbial inhibition assay. These are also good size instruments, but they also cannot be taken to the field level. When we are considering the testing by the microbial analysis, with the help of microbial analysis, that is bacteriological analytical method, that is inhibition assay, or by agar method, we can also detect the presence of antibiotic and aflatoxin. But also these require an incubation and a mean time of 48 hours to get the results. So these also are not feasible as per the testing is concerned. So we have designed, that is, we have received a new design, that is lateral flow technology, which can be used for testing the presence of these contaminants. So which can be taken to the field level, and also it gives the results in 3 to 5 minutes. But basically it is a very quick method. It gives you an indication of presence and absence of the antibiotics. So how this lateral flow technology works, that we have to understand. In this figure, we can see that analyte, that is our sample. Okay, we are having a strip-based technology where we are having 2 test lines. That is, one test line which is having the antibodies, and the control line which is having antibodies in the immunoglobulin form. We are having an analyte, that is our sample is taken. These analytes are being taken with the help of the capillary flow method on the top, and the reaction takes place on the strip, that is our test lines. In an easy words, I would like to make you understand. we are having a paper chromatography, that we keep the paper in the water moves in the anti-gravitational method, that is it will move up. So basically we are making use of that method for testing, and the level at up to which the water moves, we are having a antigen antibody combination stick on those points. So the reaction, that is the water which comes above, they will carry out the reaction at those points, and which create a color change. This color change indicates the presence or absence of the antibiotic or aflatoxin. So these are the lateral flow technology that is being currently used for the field level testing of these antibiotics and aflatoxin. So when we are testing why this antibiotic and aflatoxin is used, and why it should be, what is the benefit of this? Benefit is that it is very fast to use, as per easy. Basically when you are these are ready-made kits, so the person who is making use of it doesn't require to be a trained one. Any person can carry out the testing. It is very simple to test. As per the accuracy is concerned, it is antigen antibody, that is lock and key method is used as for the protein reaction, so you are going to get a highly accurate result. It is convenient, and convenient as it can be taken from one place to another, and as per the cost is concerned, it is very cost effective compared to another method of detections. We can have a glimpse of the box which is available. Along with that, what are the major parts of this testing? We are having an antigen antibody present on the bottom line, and that is, you can say, we are having these are the microvels. We are having a combination of antigen present in this microvel, and we are having the strip where the lines you can see over here, they are being pasted with the antibodies. These antigen and antibody reactions take place when the milk is added to this microvel, and reaction will take place at this lines, and this color change will indicate the presence of the antibiotics and aflatoxin. So as I had a word that it is very simple and easy to use. So really this working is very easy, that we have to take the sample with the help of pipette, add it to the microvel, carry out the incubation. Incubation will convert into the result, and that can be interpreted with the visual, that is naked eyes, or as well as with the help of different kind of instrument. As per if the visual interpretation is to be carried out, that can be done with the help of such charts which are available with the testing units, where we can carry out this testing. So basically, as per this and aflatoxin, that is contaminant testing is concerned, we have to carry out that there are different level at which we can carry out the testing for these contaminations. So we can carry out the testing for the commercial level farm, basically where we are having a more than 300-500 cows. At that point we can carry out this testing. At milk collection center, where the whole city, that is whole village, is submitting their milk for the dairy industry. The tanker at the RMRD, that is raw milk receiving dock, they can carry out the testing at those points. Central laboratory and milk powder testing laboratory. These are the different level at which we can carry out this kind of testing, that is presence of contaminants can be tested at these different levels. As per this testing is concerned, they are also having a good new generation techniques. So they are having a different kind of readers available which gives you indication. The data can be also be saved. These are all the different readers which are also available. When we're talking about the testing of the antibiotic is concerned, along with that, there are many we can say players which are providing the combinations of detection, like you can carry out detection of 2 antibiotics or 3 antibiotics at the same time, or 4 antibiotics also can be detected with the help of this lateral flow technology test kits. Now when we're working for the approval bodies, so it is very important that if you are using any kind of such kits, they must be accredited and attributed with the help of approved bodies. For example, ILVO, ISO, Actilia, AOSC, these are all the bodies which are approving the such kits for usage in the field level. Coming to the FSSAI, FSSAI has also initiated a work that is FSSAI has also initiated the work for the detection. In 2018 July, they have created one notification that all the milk which is being collected in the dairy industry should have the antibiotics and aflatoxin content below the LOD limits. These LOD limits are already mentioned by the notification, and along with that they are also having a certification program that they are going to approve the kits which are available in the market for field level testing. So with the help of these kits, these antibiotics and aflatoxin can be stopped at the field level only. It should not come into the dairy industry. When it is being detected at the field level, then definitely it doesn't come to the we can say our food chain. So basically, when we are talking about the Indifos solution, so when we have discussed about the AI technology, here we are having one more set of product, that is one BIOS is there, and the FSSAI which has mentioned all the antibiotics. This Indifos is also providing the solution for these antibiotics to be detected, and as per the FSSAI norms, that is LOD limits. So when we are coming to the summary, uh, uh, we have disease animals that require antibiotic treatment, that is very required. Antibiotics have withdrawal time intended to be respected and maximum residual limit set as per the legislation. The presence of antibiotics in the milk brings risk to the population, create resistance and the problem to the dairies when processing fermented products. Good practice at the farm level are essential to deliver antibiotic-free milk. To check antibiotic residue in milk, there are the tools available at the every level of the milk production chain. So that was the detail up to the discussion. That was the detailed information about the contaminants which is coming into the milk from the in the dairy industry. Uh, any questions up to this point? I have one question and I will take it right now only. Can you just share that question again?
Student.
Okay. There is one question. What do you meant by the vegan milk? Okay. Akash has asked this question. Okay. Akash, basically we have to understand the meaning of vegan. Okay, this is basically out of track, but I will definitely inform you. Vegan means it should not have any sources of the animal. Means, for example, milk is not vegan. Milk is the that is milk is received from the animal. Similarly, egg is also not vegan. That also comes from the animal. So basically, vegan means it should have the source from the plant or seeds. So, for example, your almond milk is there, your soya milk is there. They are not having any traces of the regular animal milk. So these milk are known as vegan milk. Got the point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Any more question? I think my presentation is completed. We are we are at the summary point. So I am just waiting for the questions from your side. Vijay sir?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Sir, one student has a question.
Please sir.
एंटीबायोटिक ट्रीटमेंट जो कर रहे हैं हम
हाँ.
काऊ पे, तो ये जो बेबी फूड बनाते हैं सर वो मिल्क से,
हाँ.
तो बेबी फूड में क्या इम्पैक्ट होता है सर? क्योंकि बेबी फूड वो डाइजेस्टिबल होना चाहिए जो भी है।
हाँ, ओके। अभी मैं आपको बताता हूँ। देखो क्या होता है, ये जो एंटीबायोटिक्स है या फिर एफ्लोटॉक्सिन है, अगर ये एनिमल को हमने ट्रीटमेंट किया है, ओके, वी हैव डन अ ट्रीटमेंट टू द एनिमल, तो ये उसके मिल्क में आना ही आना है। एंड दीज आर हाईली, यू कैन से, इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू गेट अफेक्टेड बाय एनी काइंड ऑफ मिल्क प्रोसेसिंग। लाइक अगर आप हीट करो, स्टरलाइज करो या कुछ भी करो, दीज एंटीबायोटिक ट्रेसेस आपके मिल्क में से नहीं जाएंगे। सो व्हेन यू आर कन्वर्टिंग इट इनटू द बेबी फूड, बेसिकली you cannot convert that into the baby food. You have to, as per the dairy is concerned, they will analyze the milk. That is, if the milk is free from antibiotics and aflatoxin, that milk will only be taken for the production of the baby food. Okay. So if the antibiotic is present, of course it will, if it is in use for the baby food production, that antibiotics will enter into the baby food, baby, and definitely it creates an antibiotic resistance. So it is very bad as per the infant food is concerned.
So this is the primary task to detect the antibiotic in the given sample of milk, sir, before?
Yes, yes, it is a primary task. That's why we are saying that कि ये field level पे. That's why I was intentionally saying that
Yeah.
we have to carry out the testing at the field level.
Yes.
आज हमारे पास बड़े साइज के इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स है, but why we are moving to the lateral flow technology?
Yes.
So that these can be taken to the field level पे testing हो, and we can get के भाई ये जो मिल्क है, okay, इसमें एंटीबायोटिक प्रेजेंट है, ये हमें डेयरी में नहीं भेजना है. Okay, this milk is free from antibiotics. We have to give it to the dairy industry. That is the reason कि हमें ये फील्ड लेवल से चेक और फील्ड लेवल से हमको चेकिंग शुरू करना है. It's like a checkpoint at the field level only.
Okay, sir. So mean that in procurement this can make the easy way of testing or monitoring this antibiotic level and testing, right, sir? In the procurement.
हाँ सर, आपका आवाज कट गया था. Can you repeat it, sir?
सर प्रोक्योरमेंट लेवल पे हम बेसिकली हमें इजी बना दिया है, जो किट्स है एंटीबायोटिक टेस्टिंग किट्स है, इनकी वजह से सर अभी इजी हो गया है उतना.
यस 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 यस. ये पहले कैसा था कि अगर आपको पहले टेस्टिंग करना है फॉर दिस एंटीबायोटिक्स एंड एफ्लोटॉक्सिन, तो आपको सैंपल कलेक्ट करना है. यू हैव टू ब्रिंग इट टू द डेयरी इंडस्ट्री और लेबोरेटरी, और उसके बाद उसका टेस्टिंग करो. आफ्टर 2 days इट इज गोइंग टू गिव द रिजल्ट. सो बेसिकली क्या व्हाट हैपन, ये जो टाइम पीरियड था इसमें मिल्क का प्रोसेसिंग हो जाता था, मिल्क मार्केट में आ जाता था. मिल्क इज अ पेरिशेबल आइटम. इन द 2 days ऑफ टाइम इट इज गोइंग टू गेट पेरिश्ड. ओके, सो बिफोर दैट यू हैव टू कैरी आउट द टेस्टिंग. और बेसिकली अगर आपको उस पर कंट्रोल लाना है, तो एट दैट पॉइंट हमारे पास ये ऐसा सिस्टम होना चाहिए दैट वी कैन सेग्रीगेट दोस थिंग्स. ओके, ये पॉजिटिव है, ये नेगेटिव है, पॉजिटिव है नॉट एक्सेप्टेड, नेगेटिव है एक्सेप्टेड. सो दीज किट्स आर गिविंग सच बेनिफिट कि आपका फील्ड लेवल पे टेस्टिंग हो जाता है, और डेयरी इंडस्ट्री है वो अच्छे क्वालिटी का मिल्क ही कलेक्ट कर पाती है.
सर एक स्टूडेंट का क्वेश्चन ऐसा है, उन्हें टेक्स्ट किया है मुझे कि ये जो रॉ मिल्क है, रॉ मिल्क या प्रोसेस मिल्क, दोनों का जब करते हैं एंटीबायोटिक टेस्ट, तो टेस्ट जो रिजल्ट है ऑब्जर्वेशन वो सेम रहते हैं सर कि डिफरेंस रहता है?
हाँ, देखिए रॉ मिल्क और पेस्चराइज्ड मिल्क, बेसिकली मैं थोड़ा उस पर क्लियरेंस लेना चाहता हूँ. ये जो एंटीबायोटिक्स होते हैं और आपका एफ्लोटॉक्सिन होते हैं, दे आर मोर एफिलिएटेड टुवर्ड्स द मिल्क प्रॉपर्टी. ओके, तो जब आप पेस्चराइज करते हो और उस पेस्चराइजेशन में आपका सेपरेशन का सेक्शन है, आपका क्रीम अलग हो रहा है और स्किम मिल्क अलग हो रहा है, तो डेफिनेटली रॉ मिल्क और आपके फाइनल प्रोडक्ट में थोड़ा डिफरेंस आने के चांसेस है. ओके, लेकिन आप पूरा का पूरा मिल्क अगर पेस्चराइज कर रहे हो, तो जो आपको रिजल्ट रॉ में मिला था वही रिजल्ट आपको पेस्चराइज में मिलेगा. This process will not make any changes in the antibiotic and aflatoxin that is present in the milk.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, welcome.
Sir, please continue.
Yes, yes. So basically, okay. Any more question which is related to vegan or something, we can have a discussion on that, those points also. और इस जरूरी नहीं है that related to this only. If you are having more question for the dairy industry, we can have a discussion on those points also.
Yes, yes. Students, I am expecting much more because this is the big vast information.
Sir,
yes, yes.
You told that in FT1 there is an infrared waves which are sir उसके प्रिंसिपल के अकॉर्डिंग हम देखें तो सर उसके अंदर जो डबल नाइट्रोजन बॉन्ड होते हैं या फिर ऑक्सीजन बॉन्ड है, तो सर उसके ऊपर से वो डिटेक्ट करता है डिफरेंट एडल्ट्रेशन. तो सर एक ही अगर मेलेमिन है तो उसके जैसा दूसरे में भी डबल बॉन्ड हो सकते हैं, ट्रिपल बॉन्ड हो सकते हैं, तो सर उस वक्त पर कैसे पता चलता है?
ओके, बेसिकली जो आपको इन्फॉर्मेशन मिली है वो करेक्ट है, लेकिन थोड़ा उसमें एक प्रॉब्लम है. वो डबल बॉन्ड पे नहीं, फंक्शनल यूनिट पे भी काम करता है. सिर्फ डबल बॉन्ड पे नहीं, फंक्शनल यूनिट. और क्या होता है, ये जो बॉन्ड्स है ना, ये जो आयर रेडिएशंस होते हैं, दे आर नॉट अफेक्टिंग टू द बॉन्ड, दे आर क्रिएटिंग अ वाइब्रेशन इन द बॉन्ड. ओके, अब आपका प्रोडक्ट बदलेगा तो वो जो वाइब्रेशन होते हैं, उनके फंक्शनल ग्रुप के जो वाइब्रेशन होते हैं वो अलग होते हैं. अगर आप कहो कि मेलेमाइन है और यूरिया है, तो दोनों का नियर मेलेमाइन और यूरिया, इन दोनों का केमिकल फॉर्मूला नियर बाय सेम है. ओके, सो इफ यू आर सेइंग कि अगर मैं मेलेमाइन पे आयर डालता हूं तो उसका वाइब्रेशन अलग होगा, और यूरिया पे आयर डालता हूं तो उसका यू कैन से वाइब्रेशन अलग होगा. सो दैट वाइब्रेशन इज बीइंग डिटेक्टेड विद द हेल्प ऑफ डिटेक्टर एंड दैट इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू द रिजल्ट. सो अगर मेलेमाइन डाला है तो सिस्टम विल डिटेक्ट कि वो मेलेमाइन ही है, और यूरिया अगर डाला है तो सिस्टम विल डिटेक्ट कि वो यूरिया ही है. So that is the benefit of IR.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Even अगर देखा जाए तो your all sugars, सारे शुगर्स है you can say disaccharides, monosaccharides and polysaccharides. If you combine their formulas, chemical formulas, सबके same formulas है. C6H4H26 जो हम कहते हैं, okay, it is going to be the same. So basically जब आप उसको आयर से डिटेक्ट करते हो तो उसको हम सेपरेट कैसे करते हैं? विद द हेल्प ऑफ वाइब्रेशन, क्योंकि सबके केमिकल फॉर्मूला सेम है, लेकिन सबका जो लोकेशन ऑफ दिस यू कैन से दिस बॉन्ड्स, उसका जो पोजीशन है, दे आर डिफरेंट. सम आर एट द एल लेवल, सम आर एट द अल्फा लेवल, सम आर एट द गामा लेवल. सो उसका जो वाइब्रेशन होगा वो उसके हिसाब से होगा. तो दिस आयर इज हैविंग द फैसिलिटी कि वो वाइब्रेशन उस लेवल तक जाके डिटेक्ट करे एंड विच गिव्स यू कि आपका जो क्या बोलते हैं एडल्ट्रेशन प्रेजेंट है वो कौन सा और कितने लेवल तक है. गॉट द पॉइंट?
Yes, sir. Sir, which
Yes,
are
sir.
more efficient, FT or GC or HPLC?
देखो FT, GC, LC, देखो सबका प्रिंसिपल अलग है. यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दोस थिंग्स. आज अगर GC आपने थर्ड कौन सा कहा?
Sir, HPLC.
HPLC. ओके. सो बेसिकली कैसा है, देखो अभी भी समझने का ट्राई करो. अगर मैं FTIR यूज करता हूं तो IR इज ओनली अ सोर्स ऑफ डिटेक्टर, लेकिन मेरा जो FT है दैट इज माय मैथमेटिकल कैलकुलेशन व्हिच गिव्स यू रिजल्ट. FT मुझे रिजल्ट दे रहा है इन द मीन टाइम ऑफ ओनली 30 सेकंड्स. ओके, ये मेरा एक चीज हुई. सेकंड है GC. GC में मुझे आपके प्रोडक्ट को अगर मुझे टेस्ट करना है तो आई हैव टू कन्वर्ट इट इनटू द मोबाइल फेज. उसको मोबाइल फेज में कन्वर्ट करके आई हैव टू कन्वर्ट इनटू द गैसियस फॉर्म एंड आफ्टर दैट आई एम गेटिंग द रिजल्ट. सो मुझे ये जो रिजल्ट लेने में 2 से 3 घंटा लगेगा पर सैंपल को. ओके, सो ऑफ कोर्स GC मुझे ज्यादा एक्यूरेट रिजल्ट देगा कंपेयर टू FT. ओके, लेकिन अगेंस्ट दैट मैं उसको फील्ड लेवल पे यूज नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि इफ आई एम यूजिंग एट द फील्ड लेवल मैं सारे सैंपल टेस्ट ही नहीं कर पाऊंगा. ओके, similarly HPLC I have to convert that in the liquid form, that is liquid mobile phase, and I have to it takes approximately 2 to 3 hours to get the result. So definitely there are the हर एक टेक्नोलॉजी का अपना एक अलग इंपॉर्टेंस है. ओके, आज आप रिसर्च कर रहे हो, एट द रिसर्च लेवल यू आर टेस्टिंग, तो मैं GC आपको रिकमेंड करूंगा, मैं IR नहीं रिकमेंड करूंगा. लेकिन अगर आप डेली चला रहे हो तो डेफिनेटली आई वुड रिकमेंड टू यूज IR इन IR टेक्नोलॉजी, FTIR that is FT1 or FT3 or Milko screen. So that will increase your speed and your efficiency will increase. Got the point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. One question was there. If any
That is the basic question, sir.
if any milk at the farm level is contaminated milk, then what happened to that milk or the side effect? Okay, Akash, can you elaborate this point? I am not getting. Farm level is contaminated milk. Akash has given one question. It is really good question. That is, if any milk at the farm level is contaminated milk, then what happened to that milk or the side effect? Okay, that these are things I was saying. Okay, this contamination will take at the farm level only. Okay, when you are when these animals are being given any kind of treated with any kind of antibiotics, this will come into the milk. It will be at the farm level. If the animal is eating the poor quality of feed, that aflatoxin M1 will come into the milk. That is also at the farm level. Okay, so basically this contamination has taking place at the farm level only. So if we are not detecting at the farm level, it will directly come to the dairy industry. It will get diluted and will come into our food chain. That is the most problematic thing, and that is the biggest side effect. Okay, and as far as the side effect is concerned, I have given basic idea that it is having direct effect, that it creates the toxicity in the human being. It directly affects to the hypersensitivity. It decreases the immunity of the humans, and also it also alters the gastrointestinal flora of the human. So definitely they are having lots of side effects as per the these products are concerned. This contamination is concerned. Sorry. Hello.
Students, any technical question, please have a discussion with sir. Yes, Mohammed.
Okay. Any question?
Yes, sir. Is there any advanced technology for detecting rapid than this test which you have said before,
Sorry,
which
sorry,
might
sorry.
become in the future?
Yusuf, your voice is lagging. Please repeat your question.
Okay. One question at a time. Mohammed, Yusuf, you just carry out the question.
Yes, sir. I am showing that for the detection of that antibiotics, is there any advanced test will be there or might become or not? I mean, I am asking about that. It will
Okay.
there or
For
not?
this antibiotic testing, complete pharma industry is already working on antibiotics. So we do have the great infrastructure for that. But when we're talking about the dairy and food industry, we are having some few number of instruments only. But antibiotic is a basically part of the pharma industry. Pharma industry, they are having a huge infrastructure as per this testing is concerned. So there are lots of high grade technology available in the market right now. We are not using it because dairy industry, we are not concerned with the antibiotic. We are concerned with the product. But in pharma industry, they are completely dedicated to the antibiotics. So there is a huge big size instruments available for that. Got my point, Yusuf?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any more question? Uh, okay. I will check this message once again. Okay, Akash. Okay, done. Okay, Vijay sir, do we have any question?
No, sir. No, sir. Please continue.
Okay, now basically I'm going to get some more points on the this presentation, but this is not related to our points, but this is one of the important aspect as per the dairy farming is concerned. When we are having any kind of animals, we have to concentrate on their disease also. So it is not like that milk industry is a if you are having animals, you are going to earn lots of money. No, it is not like that. You have to take care of animals also. So when you are having a living animal, they are also going to
Sir,
sorry. Hello.
Sir, yes, sir, yes, I clear. Nothing, sir.
Okay, 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 okay. I'll continue with this.
Sir,
Yes.
we can test that animals or any milk like rapid test, sir. Within one
Uh,
drop, it's clear and the cost also less, sir.
right, right, right. So basically, you are saying that rapid test is low cost, right?
Yes, sir. He's
Yes, sir.
asking about
Okay,
that.
yes,
We
sir,
can
of
test
course.
daily or
Yes, sir. He's asking
twice.
about that.
They are designed in such a way that it is very easy for everyone to use it. So basically, cost is one of the major factor.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I will continue with this presentation now. Okay, this was
Okay, sir.
yes. So basically, when we are having animals at our end, so it is very important that we have to take care for their diseases. So the major diseases for the animal is suffering, that is brucella, bovine viral diarrhea, that is directly leads to the death of the animal, FMD, that is food and mouth diseases, that is detection, bovine and mycosine tuberculosis, and mastitis. These are the major diseases which the animals are suffering. So as per this lateral flow technology is concerned, they have created a detection kits which can be used for detection of these type of infections, or you can say diseases also. When we are considering that government initiative, this government has given an initiative to carry out a program that animals suffering from these kind of diseases like foot and mouth, brucella, and any kind of other diseases, that should be vaccinated to before 2025. That is a India level program which is going on in India right now. So when we're talking about what is brucella, brucellosis is recognized as a significant public health challenge with a major economic and financial burden in the countries where the diseases remain epidemic. So basically, this brucella, it is brucella abortus. It creates an abortion in the animal. So when animal is suffering from brucella, the animal is having any kind of pregnancy, it will directly leads to an abortion because of presence of brucella. So it is very important that these kind of diseases should be detected at the initial level. So this lateral flow technology is having a kits which can detect this presence of this brucella. Along with that, we are having a second disease, that is bovine viral diarrhea. If the animal is infected with the bovine viral diarrhea virus, that is BVDV, it will directly creates the indigestion in the animal, and that leads to the death of the animal. So basically, it is very important that these kind of diseases should be detected. Coming to the FMD detection, that is foot and mouth disease. So basically, this is also taking place because of the foot and mouth disease virus, and it is one of the highly contagious diseases which is prevalent in animals. So the detection of this FMD is also important. So with the help of this lateral technology kits, that is lateral flow technology kits, that detection also can be done for the animals. And bovine tuberculosis, that is TB in the human, this TB also comes into the human through animals also. So this treatment for the TB, that is in human, it is, we are having a course for that, that is medicinal course for that. But for the animal, the complete detection is not accurate, so it creates a problem with the, as per the animal health is concerned. So at the if the animal is suffering too much from the mycocene tuberculosis, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, it leads to the slaughtering of the animals. So basically, in order to stop such kind of problems, we have to carry out testing for the presence of Mycobacterium tuberculosis. And mastitis, this is the most common disease, that is animal is suffering. It is having a swelling of the udder, and that increases the that is bacteria, that is somatic cell count in the milk. So that is also a major disease which is prevailing to the animals. So with the help of this lateral technology kits, okay, these detection can be also done in the meantime of 10 minutes. So that is also one of the major advancement for the that is, you can say, disease detection which is prevailing into the Indian market now. So this was the complete presentation from my side. I would suggest if any questions or any queries from your side, that will be more helpful.
Students,
Yes, sir.
please have a discussion.
हेलो सर.
Yes, Subhash.
सर फार्म लेवल पे सर आपने बताया था कि जो एंटीबायोटिक्स वगैरह सर जो एनिमल्स को दिए जाते हैं, तो सर वो एंटीबायोटिक्स को सर ऐसे कोई रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं क्या सर, कि वो मिनिमम हो जाए जो मिल्क जो होता है उसमें सर, वो एंटीबायोटिक्स अभी तक कौन कौन से ऐसे कुछ हुआ है कि कुछ बेसिकली मिनिमाइजेशन हुआ उसका मिल्क के अंदर?
सॉरी, आपका लास्ट लाइन रिपीट करना.
सर मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कि ऐसा कुछ अभी तक कुछ रिसर्च वगैरह हुआ है कि ऐसा कुछ नई टेक्नोलॉजी आई है कि उसको मतलब मिनिमाइज किया जा सकते हैं जो एंटीबायोटिक्स जो प्रेजेंट होते हैं मिल्क के अंदर जो
देखो सुभाष, अभी भी समझने का ट्राई करो. एंटीबायोटिक्स आर नॉट बैड, डोंट कंसीडर इट एज अ बैड थिंग. आज अगर मैं बीमार पड़ता हूँ, आप बीमार पड़ते हो, तो हमें डॉक्टर के पास जाना है, तो वो हमको एंटीबायोटिक्स प्रिस्क्राइब करेंगे. सेम इज विद द एनिमल्स. ओके, जब वेटनरी डॉक्टर ऑब्जर्व्स कि इसको ये XYZ सिम्टम्स है, on the basis of that they are prescribing the antibiotics. So basically antibiotics are not bad as per the health of human is concerned, as per the health of animal is concerned. लेकिन उसके बाद एक प्रॉब्लम ये रहती है कि डॉक्टर इज सेइंग दैट कि आपको एनिमल का दूध यूटिलाइज नहीं करना है फॉर 10 days और 15 days. ओके, देन ऑल्सो दैट फार्मर इज सबमिटिंग दैट मिल्क टू द डेयरी इंडस्ट्री. ये सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. एंटीबायोटिक का कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. और आप जो कहते हो अगर एंटीबायोटिक का रिप्लेसमेंट, ओके, वी आर हैविंग आयुर्वेदिक मेडिसिन फॉर दैट, एंड मेनी ऑफ आवर कॉलेजेस यू कैन से दे आर वर्किंग ऑन दिस कि एनिमल को भी वी आर गोइंग टू ट्रीट विद द हेल्प ऑफ आयुर्वेदिक मेडिसिन. ओके, but of course similarly as a human, ayurvedic medicines take some more time compared to allopathy. Okay, similarly अगर उनको एंटीबायोटिक की जगह पे उनको अगर आयुर्वेदिक मेडिसिन दिया तो उसका टाइम ज्यादा लगेगा, लेकिन एनिमल में हम उतना वेट नहीं कर सकते. दैट्स व्हाई वी आर गोइंग फॉर द एंटीबायोटिक्स. एंटीबायोटिक्स आर नॉट बैड, डोंट कंसीडर इट एज अ बैड, बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू द अवर कंजम्पशन, दैट इज अगर मुझे रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है और मैं कंजम्पशन कर रहा हूँ, at that time it is bad.
ओके सर मैं ये बोल रहा था कि अगर एक्सेसिव कोई यूज कर रहा है, जैसे कि सर अगर एनिमल कोई ज्यादा बीमार है और उसका एक्सेसिव अगर किसी का यूज हुआ है एनिमल के रेगुलरली सर अगर यूज हुआ है तो मतलब उसके मिल्क में मिनिमाइज करने के लिए ऐसा कुछ उसको अगर
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता। अब देखो, अगर वो एंटीबायोटिक कंजम्पशन कर रहा है तो उसके बॉडी में से एक्सेस मेटाबोलाइट्स निकलेंगे ही। अब वो मिल्क इज द वे कि उसमें से मेटाबोलाइट्स निकल रहे हैं। ओके, उसका यूरिन है, उसका एक्सक्रीटा है, उसका स्वेट ग्लैंड्स है, उसका म्यूकस है, दे आर द डिफरेंट वेज जहां से वो एंटीबायोटिक्स के मेटाबोलाइट्स बाहर आएंगे। सो सिमिलरली मिल्क इज आल्सो द वे। तो मिल्क में इसकी वजह से अगर उसके बॉडी में है तो वो बाहर आने ही वाला है, बिकॉज एंटीबायोटिक इज नॉट देयर बॉडी पार्ट। तो वो जब जब बॉडी उसको एक्सक्रीट करेगा ही करेगा। तो मिल्क इज आल्सो वन ऑफ द वे।
ओके सर।
यस
Okay, sir.
Sir, one question is there.
यस सर।
The maximum limit of melamine contained in powdered infant formula per kg sir कितना होता है एक?
वो पीपीबी लेवल पे है 250 पीपीबी के आसपास है।
ओके सर।
आई एम नॉट श्योर, लेकिन वो 2500 सॉरी 2.5 पीपीएम कुछ मेंशन करते हैं। दैट लीड्स टू समवट 2.5 पीपीबी ऐसा कुछ है। यस, इन्फेंट में कम है कंपेयर टू रेगुलर मिल्क पाउडर। इन्फेंट में उसका कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बहुत कम मेंशन किया गया है।
As it is a major source of nitrogen content ना सर melamine?
यस, वही तो प्रॉब्लम है, बिकॉज मेनी इंडस्ट्री व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, दे आर एडिंग मेलामाइन टू द मिल्क, by which the if the payment is done by the based on the protein content, तो उसका वो प्रोटीन नाइट्रोजन बढ़ा, नाइट्रोजन से आपका जेल्डाल का टेस्टिंग किया, जेल्डाल से हाई नाइट्रोजन की वजह से योर प्रोटीन कंटेंट विल इंक्रीज, तो पेमेंट ज्यादा जाता है। यस।
Anyone?
यस सर।
Any query?
सर बाय मिस्टेक सर ये तो नॉर्मली पॉसिबल नहीं है, क्योंकि ये जो प्रोक्योरमेंट लेवल है वहाँ पे, प्रोक्योरमेंट सेंटर वहाँ पे सर ये हो जाता है। बट सर अगर बाय मिस्टेक कोई अडल्ट्रेशन जो जिसका अडल्ट्रेंट हुआ मिल्क है सर, वो प्रोसेसिंग प्लांट पे पहुँच गया, तो सर उसका अगर कुछ फर्दर प्रोसेसिंग करके उसको यूज कर लिया जाता है, अदरवाइज उसको रिजेक्ट ही कर दिया जाता है।
देखो, अगर 1 या 2 का ऐसा इश्यू आना तो इतना बड़ा प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता है, क्योंकि 1 या 2 होगा ना तो दैट विल बी हाईएस्ट 1000 लीटर्स। किसी भी फार्मर का अगर सबमिशन अगर हाईएस्ट अगर कंसीडर करे तो वो 1000 लीटर होगा, और वो जब 1 लाख लीटर दूध में मिक्स होगा तो डेफिनेटली दैट विल बी वेरी लो कॉन्सेंट्रेशन, तो उसका इतना प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगा। गेटिंग माय पॉइंट। जब वो 1000 लीटर था, वो 50,000 के क्या बोलते हैं टैंकर में मिक्स हुआ, दैट 50,000 लीटर्स टैंकर गेट मिक्स विद द 1 लाख लीटर ऑफ द डेयरी इंडस्ट्री मिल्क साइलो। ओके, सो बेसिकली उसका जो एडल्ट्रेशन कॉन्सेंट्रेशन था दैट हैज कंप्लीटली रिड्यूस्ड। सो आपका जो फाइनल प्रोडक्ट है उसमें उसका कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बहुत कम आएगा।
ओके, और सर अगर प्लांट में प्रोसेसिंग के ड्यूरिंग प्रोसेसिंग सर इफ कोई भी मिस्टेक हो जाए, सर सीआईपी में अगर कुछ हो गया, ऐसे सीआईपी प्रॉपर नहीं हुआ उस टाइम अगर सर हो गया एडल्ट्रेंट कंटामिनेट हो गया,
तो आपका वो क्लीनिंग एजेंट का एडल्ट्रेशन हुआ ना, वो तो
सर तो वो एडल्ट्रेंट तो होना सर, उसको मिनिमाइज करने के लिए सर आई मीन कि अगर वो एडल्ट्रेंट हो गया उसके बाद सर उसका क्या यूज कर सकते हैं?
फर्स्ट थिंग, ये डेयरी इंडस्ट्री में अब बिल्कुल नहीं होता है, बिकॉज दे आर हैविंग कंप्लीटली पीसीबी बेस्ड सिस्टम्स। ओके, ये पहले होता था जब वो हाथ से वाल ओपन करने और क्लोज करने रहते थे। ओके, लेकिन अभी दैट इज कंप्लीटली कंट्रोल सिस्टम इज देयर। सीमेंस जैसे कंपनी है उसके कंट्रोल सिस्टम्स आते हैं। सो दिस काइंड ऑफ मिस हैपनिंग डजंट टेक्स प्लेस। और अगर आप जो कहते हो क्लीनिंग एजेंट्स का, तो हर एक क्लीनिंग एजेंट बिफोर एंड आफ्टर, अगर मैं क्लीनिंग एजेंट मुझे यूज करना है, सपोज NaOH इज देयर और एसिड इज देयर HCl, तो उसके आगे और पीछे मेरे वाटर का फ्लश रहेगा ही रहेगा। तो अगर मिक्स भी होता है तो वो वाटर मिक्स होगा, आपका NaOH या HCl मिक्स नहीं होगा। गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
यस सर।
यस, अगर मैं क्लीनिंग कर रहा हूँ, अगर मुझे मेरा सिस्टम क्लीन करना है तो आई विल गिव अ वाटर फ्लश, देन NaOH फ्लश दैट इज माय क्लीनिंग एजेंट, देन अगेन आई विल गिव अ फ्लश ऑफ वाटर। तो अगर कभी भी कंटेमिनेशन हुआ, ओके, तो वो वाटर का होगा, मेरे NaOH का नहीं होगा।
ओके सर।
यस, मोहम्मद, यूसुफ, you are
Yes, sir. I'm asking that.
Yes.
ओवरऑल व्यू में सर आपको आपका पर्सनल पर्सपेक्टिव, आपको क्या लगता है सर, इसको कैसे क्योर कर सकते हैं इजी मेथड में, या फिर जैसे आपको भी पता है कि इंडिया के अंदर मिल्क की क्वालिटी जो है इन चीजों की वजह से बहुत खराब होती है, तो क्या लगता है एंटीबायोटिक्स के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं
देखो,
इजी
अभी
मेथड
भी
में?
ये जो स्टेटमेंट था ना कि इंडिया में मिल्क की क्वालिटी खराब हो रही है, नो, वी आर डेवलपिंग। ओके, फर्स्ट हमें ये अंडरस्टैंड करना है कि अपने पास कितने लीटर्स ऑफ मिल्क अभी ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल है। ओके, ऑन द बेस ऑफ दैट वी आर हैविंग अ वेरी गुड क्वालिटी ऑफ मिल्क एज पर द प्रोसेस मिल्क इज कंसर्न। ओके, और ये जो मेथड्स है जो मैं अभी जो मैंने टेस्टिंग में मेंशन किए, दीज आर द रैपिड मेथड्स। इसकी वजह से ही ये सारी अगर प्रेजेंट है, अगर कंटेमिनेशन प्रेजेंट है, तो दैट इज अवॉइडेड एट द फील्ड लेवल ओनली। तो आपकी जो डेयरी में है वो आपको अच्छे क्वालिटी का मिल्क ही मिलता है। सो यू कैन नॉट से दैट कि दिस क्वालिटी इज डिटोरेटिंग, नो। हाँ, अगर मैं एक हलवाई को जाके दूध देता हूं तो नोबडी इज गोइंग टू आस्क मी एट दैट पॉइंट माय क्वालिटी इज गेटिंग डिटोरेटेड एंड यू कैन एक्सेप्ट दोस पॉइंट। लेकिन अगर डेयरी इंडस्ट्री इज कंसर्न, दे आर हैविंग अ वेरी हाई एंड गुड क्वालिटी ऑफ मिल्क।
ओके सर।
Okay, so good evening once again all. As all good things come to an end of life, so is the webinar on behalf of Department of Dairy Technology, Parul Institute of Technology. I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to those who directly or indirectly contributed to this webinar on effective communication organized by our institute. At the outset, I thank our chief guest and resource person, respected Mr. Akshay Belsare sir. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. I would like to thank our head of department, Dr. Vijay Kele sir, for his enthusiastic support. Our heartfelt thanks to our students for active participation. With these warm words and a kind message, we move to the end of the today's webinar. Thank you, sir. You provided us with a very interest. Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes sir, you are
Yes,
audible.
yes, you're audible, sir.
Sir has provided the effective topic, provided a practical exposure regarding current scenario study about the antibiotic detection, antibiotic treatments, how the melamine affect the human body, animal body, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
hope students you get much gathered information about the quality as well as the quantitative aspects, and I am very thankful to sir. In
Thank
future
you, sir.
we would like to have on our platform you again
Thank you.
on the behalf of HOD Dairy Technology and the Parul University. I am very thankful to you sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you giving me such an opportunity to have a discussion with the students. I'm very happy, and your students are really very active during the discussion. That also, these interaction also helps us to it boosts us to give more, have a discussion more, discuss more points. That is very good from your side also. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you
Yes sir.
sir.
Thank you so much. It was very knowledgeable session for us.
Yes,
Thank you so much sir.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay students.
Thank you, Akash.